Hi, my name is Jesse and I'm the National Director of Programs at Pet Partners, and this is a short video about the differences between assistance animals, emotional support animals, and therapy animals. Pet Partners is an organization dedicated to working with therapy animals, but we do think there are a lot of benefits to understanding the other categories of animals as well. Assistance animals, according to the Americans with Disabilities Act, or ADA, are always dogs or horses. And these animals are specifically trained to perform a task for a person with a disability. So they are working animals and not pets. Having said that, of course, owners of assistance animals love and care for their animals, but they are working animals first and foremost. I do have a couple of examples of assistance animals and their tasks up on the screen. One of the primary questions we get at Pet Partners when we're talking about categories of animals is what kind of animals can go in what types of buildings and where can animals go and visit? And when it comes to assistance animals, the answer to that is that they have full public access rights, meaning that the owner of an assistance animal and their animal can go into any private or public building. So any restaurant, any retail store, any library, pretty much any place they're allowed to go. And this also extends to housing. So if the owner of an assistance animal wants to rent a house or apartment, even if that housing situation has a no pets policy, the owner of the assistance animal and the animal are allowed to live there by law. Emotional support animals, unlike assistance animals, can be a variety of different species. So they are not limited to horses and dogs. An emotional support animal is a pet that provides therapeutic support to a person who has a mental health illness or issue, and they are prescribed by a licensed mental health professional. What I mean by that is the animal is prescribed by the mental health professional for the person as part of their therapeutic support. The prescription piece is really critical in order to define an animal officially as an ESA. Per the Americans with Disabilities Act, again, the ADA, ESAs do not have public access rights in the sense that they cannot go into any restaurant or retail store. Okay, they are different from an assistance animal that way. ESAs must be left at home in situations like that. However, when it comes to housing, ESAs do have some protection and their owners do as well. So once again, if they want to rent an apartment or a home with a no pets policy, as long as they're an official ESA that's been prescribed by a mental health professional, they are allowed to live in those places. Last but certainly not least, let's talk about therapy animals. So at Pet Partners, we register about 9,000 therapy animal teams worldwide. The majority are in the United States. And a team refers to the human plus the pet working together as a team. And when a team becomes officially registered as a therapy animal team, they then go volunteer at places like hospitals, rehabilitation centers, nursing homes, assisted living facilities, schools, universities, really a variety of different places. And they go and visit in order to kind of share the healing power of the human-animal bond. So a therapy animal, when they are in that role, they are not in service to their owners. And again, that's very different from ESAs and assistance animals who are in service to their owners for one reason or another. Therapy animals are in service to others. Now, in order to become a therapy animal team, I mentioned they must be registered with an entity like Pet Partners. And that usually involves some education and training. And it also involves an evaluation where the team is assessed by a licensed team evaluator in order to determine if they are a suitable fit for interacting with the public in the ways that therapy animals do. Now, when a therapy animal becomes registered and they volunteer with their owner, the rest of the time, when they're not in that role, which might only be a few hours a week, they're just a regular pet, and there is nothing particularly special about them when they're hanging out at home. So I do want to point that out. They're a pretty standard pet who just steps into that role or has the ability to step into that role of therapy animal from time to time. Again, wrapping up with access rights, since there's usually a lot of questions about that, therapy animals have none, meaning a therapy animal, just because it's a therapy animal, doesn't have any more access to a restaurant or a retail store than just a standard pet. And same goes for housing. If there's a no pets policy, Just because an animal might be a registered therapy animal doesn't mean that the owner can get around that policy. The only ways in which therapy animals are allowed to go to places like nursing care facilities or into a school building is because they're invited by the facility as part of their therapy animal programming. I am, in a moment here, just going to put up a handy graph that not only covers some of the things I just talked about in this video, but also makes some other comparisons between these categories of animals. We'll leave it up for a few seconds so you can take a look. I hope that it's helpful. I hope this video was helpful, and have a great day.